Well, welcome back, YouTube. This is Rice Paddy Reasons, and I am your Rice Paddy Daddy. Hey. Well, today I want to shout out to my brother over at Escape Tricks. I'm rocking his gear. Where's my coffee? So we got the shirt. Oh, take a little drink out of my coffee cup. If you guys haven't subscribed to his channel, you really need to, because he is actually exploring Thailand right now as we speak. He's on his trip. He's out there, guys. He is living the life that we are looking to live. So this goes back to mental tool number 1. Listen to the right people. Who are the right people? The right people are the people that are living the life that you want to live. They're the ones that you want to listen to. So go and check him out. Like, I just watched his video. I think he was walking down Soy Cowboy, which is an amazing place. I love that place. Like, Bangkok, banging out of control. Like, I love that city. I can't wait to go back. So today we're gonna work out of the notebook again, and I want to talk about the exercise of supply and demand when applied to the passport revolution. Relationships are essentially just sales, okay? It's an exchange of value. Well, hey guys, before we get started, go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe to my channel, hit the bell so you know when I drop a new video, and please leave a comment so that I can know what you guys are thinking too. So how does sales apply to the passport movement? Let me first get into defining what are the factors of a sale, okay? I mean, it's not just people buying something, okay? It's really an equitable and satisfactory exchange of value. In other words, you have to think that it's worth it in order to buy something. So first, really quick, let me get out of the way the 4 factors of a sale, okay? What is required for a sale to happen, okay? Number 1, you have to have value. In other words, you have to have an equal or equitable exchange, which we talked about before. Whether it's a small amount of money or a large amount of money, what you're getting for it has to be worth it. You have to feel like you're getting a good deal. Number 2, what is being sold must be desirable. Even if you're offering a good deal, but it's not something that customer wanted in the first place, then the sale is not relevant. It has to be something that they want. Number 3, time has to be spent for a sale to happen, okay? In the sales industry, we use a term called impulse, and that is the feeling that you get that drives you to buy something. In other words, you have to have that desire to make that decision in order to make the exchange. And time has to be spent building that impulse so that a decision can be made. Now, typically, the more value that is being exchanged, in other words, the bigger the sale, the more time has to be spent in order to build that impulse. It might be a pretty quick decision to buy a pack of gum, but it is not a quick decision to, say, buy a car or a house. And number 4, there has to be service involved. In other words, the product must be presented properly for somebody to actually see that it's valuable and desirable. In other words, the manner in which it is presented makes a difference. Now, ultimately, sales is nothing more than connecting people with what they want. So if you have what somebody wants, then they are your customer. If you do not have what that person wants, then they are not your customer. And you look elsewhere. So if you have what somebody wants, then you give them that, all right? You connect them with what they want. If what that person wants is to never talk to you again, you also give them that. Most people see that as a failure, but those of us who have worked in sales, we understand that somebody telling us no is actually a good thing, because the sooner they do tell us no, that's time that we can spend on somebody who actually is our customer rather than talking to somebody that is not. Now, unlike an exchange of goods where it's money for goods or services, in relationships, the currency is much different, okay? The currency in relationships are happiness, peace of mind, and trust. That is what we are exchanging with what we have versus what somebody else has. It's less of a sale and more like a trade, if that makes any sense. Typically, women are going to be seeking security and men are going to be seeking respect. I know that's a pretty simplified version of it, but ultimately that is how we view relationships and what we're seeking when we get relationships. This is why typically women will want men that can provide them with a certain amount of security, like financially and feeling physically safe around them, which is why they tend to like guys that are more financially stable, taller, bigger, etc., etc. It is what it is. And since typically guys are going to be looking for respect, part of that is feeling loved, feeling important, feeling respected. So this is why a guy is going to bring money, physicality, confidence, in order, all of these things that provide security for their potential mate. And women are going to bring their femininity, their cooperativeness, their beauty, like all of these factors to the table in order to give their potential mate the respect that they are seeking. So in this exchange, the men and the women both are going to have happiness, peace of mind, and trust. Now this happens when they find a mate that fits with them. In other words, you have a sale. Now, the myth about sales is that you have to convince people to buy something that they don't want. And that is absolutely not true, because the best salesmen understand that you don't make your customers, you find people that already are your customers and you show them that they are your customers. That's where the presentation comes in. We also have in sales what's called the law of averages, which is if you talk to a certain number of people, you will get a sale. So if you want to get more sales, you either need to talk to more people or you need to refine your approach so that you get better results from the people that you do talk to. So I see what's happening in the West here is an exercise in supply and demand, okay? We are looking for particular customers. They are looking for particular customers, and it's not matching up for one reason or another. Now, I'll use myself as an example. I'm just a regular guy. I'm 5'7", I'm not built like a Greek god, I can't change much in the way that I look, although I'm not ashamed of how I look, but it's not something that I can change. I'm never gonna be 6 feet tall, okay? I'm never going to be a male model. The only things that I can actually change are my physique by exercising, my people skills by improving them, maybe improving my confidence, and of course changing my income. There's also the moral factors involved. You have to be a good person. I think that ultimately everybody is looking to have a relationship with a good person, and that is something that we should all strive to be, is good people, loyal people, people that are honest. What I think is happening is the disconnect between men and women in the West has a lot to do with the law of averages, because it can be frustrating when you have to talk to so many different people and get so many no's before you finally find the yes. I mean, those of us that have worked sales, we understand that this can be an arduous process, especially when you have to talk to a whole lot of different people, like sometimes hundreds of people in a single day, just to get a few sales. But there's also some bad salesmanship happening in the West as well, where we have people that are hustling other people and making them think that they're a good mate when they're really not. And sometimes you have people trying to shame their potential customers into wanting something that they don't really want. So when you're not getting sales, you have a few different choices. One is to change products that you're selling. In other words, if you want to get a sale, maybe you should be offering what it is your potential customers actually want. And maybe you might need to present it in a little bit better of a light. Instead of trying to shame your customers and telling them that they need this thing because they're unworthy of anything else, then that's not going to get you a sale. After a certain point, you have to wonder why your potential customers are going to a different market in order to trade their goods and spend their money. Because maybe they're finding what they want over there because they're not finding it here. The other choice you have is to simply talk to more people. And you know how dating can be here, okay? It's tiring, it can be exhausting. Not everybody wants to work that kind of law of averages. Ultimately, I think that it comes down to having a very clear view of what it is that you actually want and going where you can find it. And sometimes it's understanding the market and knowing that maybe the product that you're looking for, it might not exist. Or even if it does exist, it might be in really high demand and your chances of getting that product might be very slim. There are some products that are absolutely unique, like pieces of art. Those don't just get sold, especially if it's a famous piece of art. Chances are it's going to get auctioned off. In other words, it's going to go to the highest bidder. And when that happens, you have to have a certain amount of value to offer for that piece of art in order to acquire it. So if you can't offer enough in order to get that sale, in other words, to win the auction, then you can't be surprised if somebody else walks off with the product that you wanted. I mean, the economics of world trade has shown us that there are things that are plentiful in one place and are highly coveted in another. And in this trade, we have an equal, equitable, and satisfactory exchange of value. So does this sound like what we're doing when we travel to other countries to find relationships and marriages? So ultimately, this movement is really just an exercise in supply and demand. If you want to get your customers back, then you have to do what it takes to win your customers back. Or you find a whole new group of customers. Well, hopefully all of this makes sense to you guys. If you have any questions, feel free to email me at ricepaddyreasons@gmail.com. I'm happy to have a conversation with any single one of you guys. So really the whole point of this is to go where you are valued. To go where you're going to find customers for your product. You all have a certain amount that you offer that is valuable. And if it's not valuable here, it's valuable someplace else. And it'll be worth the plane ticket. So that's what I got for you guys today. Until the next video, passports up. You guys keep growing and deserve your victory.